So Sabres coming off the shutout of the Golden Knights on Tuesday night. What did you like the most?
Well, the fact they were able to protect a 1-0 lead for 40 minutes, I think, and especially since they did give up some opportunities where Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen had to make some phenomenal saves. But they blocked some shots, which was good. They did lock it down and held it to 1-0 before they got the empty net goal to make it 2-0. The thing that really, I think, hurt them is that the shots that were coming at their goaltender to make the save. At the other end, Aiden Hill just watched the Sabres pass the puck. He didn't, really have to do too much other than that.
Yeah.
Because they had 5 or 6 2-on-1s, and the only one that shot was Tyson Kozak, and the rest of them all tried to pass to covered guys. It's almost like what I don't understand is the C opens. Like the other team knows that they're going to pass every time, so they let the guy with the puck basically walk right down the slot, and then they all gang up on the other guy and cover him to make sure that they can intercept the pass that they know is coming.
Yeah.
And how does the guy that's coming open down the slot not realize he's coming open down the slot?
So that's something you shouldn't have to work real hard to have an awareness of. Yeah, I don't know how guilty Ryan McLeod was in any of this on Tuesday, Paul, but in our house, between my son and I, and it's more him than me, like he comes into the zone with the puck and has a chance to shoot it, and I was just like, he's never going to shoot it. And I would think if you're playing the Sabres, you probably know that.
Yeah, no,
right?
I'm the same way.
Right.
I know he's not shooting it.
Right.
And it doesn't know how far off the guy with him is. He could be on a really bad angle. He could have 3 guys with him. It doesn't matter. He's getting the puck. Or they're going to attempt to give him the puck. That's what I should say.
Right. Well, this game on Tuesday, I think I saw you wrote right that you felt it was Luukkonen's strongest game of the year, and I don't disagree. I thought he was excellent in this game, especially like sort of one-and-done plays. There were a couple of rebounds where he had to be really slick and make a really great save on a puck that got off of him. But it felt to me like as grade A as some of those scoring chances were, they didn't turn into 2 and 3 shot opportunities. He was able to corral pucks on the ice right in front of him quickly. Like, it wasn't a game where I felt like he was under siege, yet he made, I don't know, a half a dozen or more grade A saves. But it wasn't like, to me, I don't know, I guess I wouldn't say I felt like he stole the game. Do you disagree?
There were times he stole the game. I mean, he'd make one save, bang, make the other. He had their 34-goal score talking to himself by the end of the night. He was in on a couple of those that I'm describing. And, there were a few ones in there that he kind of stole the show for them. But what he wasn't doing, which he tends to do now and then, is be kicking the puck out into the slot, a big rebound, or overplaying the puck where he basically slides right out of the net, which is another habit he has from time to time. None of that was happening in that game. The rebounds were controlled.
Yeah.
He was in net. He wasn't sliding through the net. And, he just seemed to, read everything they were going to try to do to him and be there first.
A couple of defensemen to talk about here, Paul. Got to go back to Metsa, right? Yesterday at this time we were talking about him and got an interesting call from a fan that I want to bring up as well. But even with Stanley, he just continues to impress.
Yeah, he helped Stanley. That was Lindy Ruff talked about it today. It was a better pair. And I think he's good for Stanley because if Stanley does make a mistake, he can help him. And he's there for him. So I think that's a good third pair for them. Metsa, as we talked about yesterday, for sure has to be there, dressed every game. There's just no question he's their number 5 defenseman. That's not even, to me, it's not even a discussion. And some of the other defensemen are probably not happy, Kesselring or whatever, and oh well. I'm sorry you got injured, and it's what happened, and the 27-year-old rookie played quite a bit better than any of them. So he gets the spot as far as I'm concerned. And The others have to wait until there's an injury or whatever. And for Kesselring, it's been a tough year. I still think he's going to be a very good defenseman for the Sabres, but I think trying to find it this year, it's too late. I think we got to start. They have to start next year in training camp and basically start over with him. But I still think he is a very good defenseman when he's not injured.
Paul, I didn't notice, but it felt to me like Metsa, did he play exclusively with Stanley in this game on Tuesday?
Pretty much. He had a couple of shifts that I recall with Donnelly, but yeah, pretty much he did. And there was one play that was it led to one of the 2-on-1s we were just discussing.
I know. I talked about this play yesterday.
Yeah, where he noticed that Vegas was changing, and he popped a stretch pass to Ostlund, got him going down ice on a 2-on-1, and that he was coming right down Main Street. I mean, they weren't closing in on him at all. Why? Because they knew he was going to pass the puck to Tage Thompson, because he knows that the 21-year-old rookie is going to see the 44 goal scorer over there and say, I better pass the puck. Now, he's quite capable of shooting and scoring goals. He's done it so far this year coming up, but sure enough, he was wide open. He could have deked. He could have shot. He could have done anything. He could have taken it behind the net and come back out again. He could have done whatever he wanted, but he decided to pass to the guy who had two guys on him. And but it was all Metsa realizing that Vegas was in that change and got that stretch pass up and sprung him. And it was a really aware and nice play by him.
So I felt like through the game, there was maybe one shift in the third period where Metsa and Stanley were out there that I was a little nervous about. But I thought Metsa really maybe helped stabilize Stanley.
Yes.
It was easily the most comfortable he's looked playing, in this system and on this team. And, I hope they give that. I'm guessing that they're going to keep that together here tonight. Do you know?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
And
good.
Yeah, there's no point in changing it. I mean, get ready for the playoffs. If this is your lineup and you want a big defenseman in your lineup for the playoffs, which is why you got him, and even that, what you were talking about, that one shift, Metsa still is able to calm it down.
Yep, bailed him out of it. That's right.
Even though it's starting to look like it's going to go bad. I can't tell you how many times in Rochester and Buffalo I've seen him look like he's beaten, but he's really not. It's amazing. I've really never seen a defenseman do this.
Yeah.
Where he looks like he's dead in the water, and next thing you know, he makes the play, and it's like, how did he do that? And he does it all the time.
Yeah, there was absolutely an example of this in the game on Tuesday where I thought a player. I mean, do I need to say a bigger player? I mean, Metsa is one of the smallest players in the league, I think. So whatever. But I thought a guy had the corner on him, and he just regained his positioning well enough that just sort of guide him into the corner and diffuse it from being a situation where this guy was going to crash the net. Maybe there's a cross-crease pass or whatever. Metsa just kind of put the fire out, and I thought he was beat.
Yeah, no, I first noticed it when I was watching him in playoffs in Rochester last year and the year before. It happens more than probably should, but he knows what he's doing. So, again, he knows what he's doing, and he just figures it out as it's happening. And he's got a good mind for the game, and I think he never feels like he's out of a play. He just, thinks, all right, I'm here. How do I figure this out to make sure I get the puck over there?
With Paul Hamilton from San Jose, Sabres and Sharks, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock pregame on WGR. Mentioned a call we got yesterday around this time from a fan who brought up Owen Power, and the guy made a lot of good points we both liked. Basically, his reason for calling Paul was somebody should stick up for Owen Power. Like, he's really good at a lot of things that maybe don't get attention.
Not being talked about enough.
Yeah. Would you echo that?
Yeah, the goalie and I do it all the time. We're sitting there talking about it the same way.
My son, you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, I figured you'd know who I was talking about.
I was making sure for the audience.
By now, the audience, I think, knows who the goalie is too.
I was trying to make sure that they didn't think you were talking about Alex Lyon, Paul. That's all. Sorry.
I didn't know.
But yeah, we talk about that all the time. I don't feel a need to defend him. I feel he's played very, very well.
Yeah.
And I just think people get lost into what they used to see, and they think they're still seeing it because they're not watching carefully enough. And it's like, or he makes one bad play.
Right.
He's not perfect. He will have a bad game now and then. Still, he's not perfect, and that's when they pounce. That bad game. Oh, you should be in Rochester. You know the whole thing. And it's like, well, whoa. What about the 34 games before that?
Right.
You know, did you not notice the improvement at all? Did you not notice the thing I've been banging the table on for how long, that his coverages in the middle of the ice are much better than they had been? That he actually is covering somebody now instead of just standing next to him? I mean, to me, and you know, his passes are good coming out of the zone normally for the most part. And again, I don't need him to put somebody through the back wall. He is stronger, and because it's something they worked out with him, and he can ride people out of the play. But he doesn't have to put him through the back wall. I don't care. Kill the play.
Right.
That's all you need. Kill the play, cover the guys in front, block the shots when you have to, get the puck, get it up ice, and go. He could probably be a little bit better offensively, but that actually recently is starting to come.
Yeah. You know, I think the offense, and forgive me, I don't think we got to this whenever it happened, and it could have been 2 games ago, it could have been 10. Okay, so I apologize. But I know there was a play in a recent game where he ended up sort of right in the slot with an opportunity, and the shot he got off, he was under some duress, and the shot was just sort of like, the play was to shoot it, sort of like you're saying, Paul, like he's open in the slot enough that you should take that shot. But it was just like giving it to the goalie, like, here you go. And I said to Owen, like, I hope someone, a video coach somewhere on their, you know, administrative coaching depth chart, that puts together reels for guys to look at, you know, for the coaching staff to go over, even at exit meetings, not necessarily even now, because now is a tough time to work on your shot. But I feel like I would want to cite that example, that play, and give it to Owen Power and say, like, go work on your shot. Go shoot 1,000 pucks a day.
Uh-oh.
Or something. Like, just go do it. Because I think there is another step that could be taken there offensively if he could develop that. And, like, I think it's great that there would be this example they could give him and say, like, this could have been a much more dangerous play, and you're a much more valuable player if you can do this. And so I do think there is more there still.
If you recall, and this goes to that I think you're right that they probably did go over this with him, was the goal he scored when Benson came in and gave him that backhand pass from behind the net. And he recognized the forecheck and came into the slot. He did let that one fly.
Yep.
And it almost, as you were saying that, I thought to myself, yeah, I bet they did. I bet exactly what you're saying. I bet somebody did go over it with him because he did it better that time. A lot better than the one you were describing.
Yeah,
I didn't. Was not the appropriate reaction in the middle of that. But it was just when you said 1,000 pucks a day, it reminded me that my daughter was in a program, I think for 2 years, where it was 10,000 pucks in the summer, in like their off season.
Yeah,
I think the number was 10,000, and we just that was always like top of mind at home. Is what are we at? How many today? Is that 100? I guess 100's good, but do we have 100 days here? Like you got to do 100. For 100 days. Like it was so many.
Yeah.
And
maybe that's what I needed. Nobody had me do with 10,000 pucks
10,
or anything
pucks.
when I played, because any goal I scored was within 5 feet of the net. I certainly wasn't going to come rolling down the left wing and beating him with any slap shots.
I never have forgotten talking. I was on the air, I think with you. Do you remember, Mike, talking with the late, great Rick Martin one time? And, I mean, I've talked to him many times on the air, but I think this was with you. And I asked him, like, your shot, like, how did you get? And he's like, I just shot pucks all day, every day as a kid. Like, that's all I did. I just shot.
That works sometimes.
That works. It's skill development. Like, I just shot pucks
to the point where he could put the puck through that little hole that the photographers use in the corner glass.
Right.
I guess that.
You know what didn't work is when they had him come on as a skills coach.
Right.
And that very often happens. You know, like I remember for 2 years, my coach in college had us come help coach hockey school in the summer. And since I was the fastest guy on the team, he wanted me to coach skating. I'm like, I don't know how I do it. I just do it. Right. I can't explain to the kids, well, this is how you skate fast. I don't know. I can't explain it. I just know it happens.
Right.
It's a weird thing.
Before you go, Paul, San Jose, it's a big game for them. 1 point out.
Yeah, they've been having their problems. They've only won, 5 of 15, I believe it is. And the Sabres did a pretty good job on Celebrini in the 6-3 win in Buffalo. He did score, but that's because the Sabres basically handed the Sharks the puck. Yeah. And it was a horrible turnover. But other than that, they did a pretty nice job of kind of hassling him and getting a piece of him and not letting him be too dangerous out there. So I think that's going to have to be part of their game plan. Don't turn it over to him because he's going to score on that turnover, and then just play him the way you did the rest of the game.
I think that turnover, if I remember, was Alex Tuch cross the defensive zone. Speaking of him, is he okay for tonight?
Yeah, I chatted with him just briefly, about 30 seconds in the room, and he said he felt really good. He said he actually feels better than he thought he would a couple of days ago. He goes, it was a tough one. I said, well, what about stamina? And he says, you know what, I've done this before. I kind of, know how to figure that out and everything. He goes, I'm not worried about that at all, and that was our conversation.
Any other changes?
No. The third pair will be what it is. Of course, the alternating goal in goal. Yep. So it's Lions' turn to be in goal, and I was asked the question today, well, the alternating goal is just fine, but Luukkonen earned the right to play this game. And I said, well, I could go back to as long as they've been doing this, and I could say, well, Lyon earned that game and Luukkonen earned that game.
Right.
You're talking about a goaltender who is 16-2.
Right.
And you're saying he doesn't belong in net with a .924 save percentage. Luukkonen was great. He'll play in Los Angeles. Don't get all twisted about all this.
Yep.
I mean, Lyon earned his way at 16-2.
Yeah, it ain't broke.
This works for me.
Yeah. Maybe at some point we'll get into a conversation about whether they have to make a decision on that for the playoffs, but, we can kick that can down the road for now.
No reason to do anything different
yet.
Very good. Paul, thanks. Enjoy the game.
Take care, guys.